The thing is, I don't even need a CNC lathe. I did want a power feed to reduce the tedious hand cranking when turning longer pieces, but a CNC lathe is really not necessary, at least not for the very simple things that I do. But the power feed I built seemed to work pretty well, and I began to wonder whether automating with a stepper motor might be more convenient. Then I thought, well, if it works on the Z-axis, might it also work on the cross lathe? And I think that's when I fell down the rabbit hole. So this describes the test construction of a completely unnecessary system that probably will not be used much, but I was interested to see if a really simple CNC lathe could be developed in this manner. Spoiler alert, it probably can. The Z-axis drive is essentially the same as with the power feed, but with the NEMA 17 stepper motor in place of the worm gear motor. I also changed the motor mount to use an excess piece of 2040 aluminum extrusion along with a mini gantry slide. This is overkill, but I had those parts on hand and space is limited, so this is more compact. I've worked on linear drive and gantry systems for several years, so almost all of the parts used in this conversion were spares already on hand, and the cost was essentially zilch. The control system is bare bones and consists of a 24-volt power supply, 2 stepper motors, and 2 DM542T drivers, all from Stepper Online. The brains are in a simple little Arduino Uno, which is hidden under the screw terminal shield that I added to provide better connections. It runs on free Gerbil firmware, which I downloaded and simply flashed onto the Uno. To provide protection for the electronics, I built a frame of 2020 V-slot extrusions and cut some 1/4-inch clear acrylic panels to fit, with the top piece simply aligned with 2 pins and placed on top. So far, it's provided adequate protection while still providing good access. The cross-slide mount was tricky because unlike the Z-axis, it's not stationary, and the Sherline is so small that there isn't much space available. Also, my criteria were, as before, instant switching from manual to automated feed, which is essential, and removable with no significant modifications to the lathe itself. This project began with a chunk of aluminum angle. I began with a hole in the longer side to fit over the thrust collar. That 1-inch hole was smaller than the handle, so a slot was cut to allow adding and removing the drive without having to completely disassemble it. The motor needs a slide to adjust belt tensions, so 2 1/4-inch slots were milled to provide for attachment. After accurately drilling 2 mount holes on top, the piece was finished. Pushing was not an option, no space, so the motor needed to be pulled back to tension the belt. Since there was nothing on the motor to grab onto, I cut a tabbed aluminum plate and then bent a hook on the end of the tab. That hand bending job was pretty pathetic, but fortunately just about anything approximating a hook would work. Spaced holes were drilled in the plate to fit the motor holes, so the connection plate could then be placed between the motor and the holder. Finally, I prepared 4 mounting spacers from an acetal rod. After drilling a central hole for the screws, the spacers had approximately 3 mm heads with a body cut to fit the thickness of the aluminum plate and turned a few thou less than a 1/4 inch in diameter to allow them to slide. Final assembly was pretty straightforward. The mounting screws are all that hold the stepper motor together, so careful adjustment was needed. Tight, but not too tight to slide. A push-pull toggle clamp was far too big for this axis, so I used a spring toggle latch instead, which isn't nearly as good, but it worked. I really hate these little M3 screws. I need either bigger screws or smaller fingers. Actually mounting the cross-slide motor was easy. This arrangement allows for instant switching from CNC to manual and back again by adding and removing the belts, which is critical, and also a quick removal of the entire cross-slide motor whenever it's required. I much prefer to eliminate the steppers when hand feeding to avoid having to unplug them to eliminate back EMF, and also directly controlling the hand wheel just feels better. Some more jogging of the steppers confirmed that everything was working. So the final evaluation was to run a simple G-code program that I wrote, making a total of 12 passes on the work, incrementing the depth of cut by 5 thou for each pass. The first 4 cuts were 1.2 inches in length, then 1 inch, and finally the last 4 were 8/10 of an inch long. Overall, everything seemed to go okay. Time will tell how reliable this is and whether it can handle more complicated tasks than simply turning to size. But then that's pretty much all I need. I still need to evaluate the accuracy and precision of the system and look more closely at handling backlash. I plan to finish this up later by evaluating the performance of the system in more detail when I get the chance. But as far as I can tell at this point, it works. And thanks for watching.